that. That's what he's good
Did he
at.
do Borderlands, the colossal failure that is Borderlands? I think he directed.
I think that. So I think the way the schedule went, he made Borderlands like 4 years ago, and it has sat on the shelf for some reason. And so he went after that. He made Thanksgiving, which was good. It's already come out, been in theaters, been on rental or whatever, been on DVD, and only now does Borderlands come out. And maybe you didn't notice it, Taylor, but it's one of the worst reviewed movies of all time. It's
I
at
did see something about
0%
that
for a long time. I don't know. I watched some reviews of it. I'm not going to watch that shit, but they did that thing where they take a beloved video game title that has a good story and interesting characters, and they're just like, nah, let's just imagine if she was like 60 years old instead of 20. How about that?
Oh, okay.
Boo. It's what's her name? Who's the actress that they've got? It's
Jamie Lee Curtis, also in Everything Everywhere All at Once.
So Jamie Lee Curtis is way too fucking old. She looks like old. She plays old lady. But Galadriel, what's her name?
Kate Blanchett. Kate
Blanchett is in there playing like the spunky, like go-getter girl, the redhead from the
She's probably
game.
Too old for that. Wait, the redhead from the game is like a. I always imagine they were all young people, except for like the gray-haired older guy, like the Berserk character. Because I played the games, and Borderlands lost so much goodwill among its fans for like the last two games they released. Like they were like, if I were on the internal team of the most recent Borderlands game they released, I would have been like, we can't release this, guys. We're going to destroy our reputation. Like what's the last remaining bit of people who like Borderlands are hating it. Like I've played through the first and the second Borderlands multiple times each because it's just a fun game and it's really good. The third one, and then that like half-assed bullshit, like a third of a fourth game they released and charged like half of
that's the only one
game price for. It's terrible. Like I would rather someone not play Borderlands at all than experience Borderlands as that third or that fourth version. Because the first one, the second one in particular is awesome. I don't know if you've played Borderlands Drifter, but the second one is so much fun. It's just a fun fucking game.
I haven't personally played it. I've watched a little gameplay. Looks like it's sort of like Fallout with a more upbeat attitude.
Yeah, it's just kind of, and like the random nature of the guns makes it fun because you can stumble upon something that like randomly happens to be insanely good. And it's just fun. Like, oh, this one shoots every bullet's 10 bombs or whatever. And it's got a pithy little descriptor to it and a fun name. Like
Isn't there a gun that shoots other guns?
There was some gun that shot other guns. I think.
Well, there was the one that just like replicates a new gun. Like when you're done, you throw the gun like a grenade, and another one like materializes.
Every brand of gun had like a different specialty. So like the Jacobs guns were supposed to be like the wheel guns. So like they didn't have a fire limit. They wanted to be like as fast as you can pull. And then Tedior was the brand where like every time you reload, you throw the gun at your opponent and it blows up, and you just have a new gun that's exactly the same. Yeah. It was a lot of fun. That was such a fun game.
They also replaced the actor that does Claptrap. I guess that the little robot, the little cute.
Oh, the voice actor with Jack Black.
They made it Jack Black.
Oh, they shouldn't have done that. He kind of has an iconic voice in that game series.
Yeah,
it was made by Gearbox. So Gearbox is kind of infamous for this. They have Borderlands. It's like a fan favorite. They tried Duke Nukem. That was a huge fail. They did Aliens Colonial Marines. It was a huge fail. Battleborn didn't last very long. Homeland, I think Homeworld or whatever also didn't last very long. And I feel bad because they're a local Texas company. I could maybe after a very long day walk from my house to the Gearbox studios, and I would want to support them and say, yeah, it's awesome. We're making games here in Dallas, but they just can't seem to get their shit together. And Taylor, I agree with you on the stuff they release. You would think that those would tank the studio, yet somehow it doesn't. I think they're partially owned or like a subsidiary of Bethesda in some capacity.
Okay.
No, of ID Software. So they get bailed out a little bit here and there. But
you help me catch up. Sad. What are we talking about?
The Borderlands movie. He's talking about what a big failure it was, and neither of them have really played it. Actually, Kyle's only experience on Borderlands was like a few minutes in the worst possible, in like the most recent.
No, I think he finished a bad one. Yeah, we played.
Then you.
I was the Borderlands fan. And I guess I had seen the series get a little worse, but I had hopes that somehow this would be a U-shaped curve. It was not. It was just a downward trajectory. And Kyle kindly suffered through the whole thing.
We played that whole fucking game. They called it like the prequel or something. It was the fourth one.
The pre-sequel or something.
I kept waiting for the good part because
it was
it's
so
one
stupid.
of those games Like if you've been listening to us 10 or 12 years, you'll know like Woody loved that game, and he'd tell stories of it and how wonderful it is to play it. And I was like, I'm gonna do this Borderlands thing with Woody. This is gonna be great. This is like going swimming with Woody or going lifeguarding with Woody,
It
or
was
like
bad.
going to wood chair with Woody.
You
This
did
is
it to me too.
It's a great game.
Kyle loved
1 and
Dead
2.
Space. Dead Space was his jam. And then we're like, all right, I'm going to play Dead Space 3 with Kyle. I'm going to get the Dead Space experience with Kyle.
Third
It
one
wasn't the good
sucks. Like, not only does the third one like shit tier, like I watched a 45-minute documentary about why it's so shitty, about them going in this different direction and trying to copy other games and abandoning what had made them great in the past, and all these terrible decisions narrative wise and gameplay wise. Like the whole idea of co-op is counter to what Dead Space is about. This one guy on his own against terrible odds in a very scary atmospheric environment. For that to like prosper and like do its thing to you mentally, you can't be chuckling with Woody about like, look at his limbs, look at it's wiggling, look at his leg wiggles. When I played those first two games by myself, I was, especially the first one, I was so scared. I was so scared in that dark room playing that scary fucking game that it worked for me. And it's just a better game. But the third one, yeah, same exact thing. And I remember getting stuck on this. I remember where I was in real life sitting playing that game because it was so shitty. There's a part in Dead Space 3 where you have to like jump from one spacecraft to the other, and you literally like glide, you like fly through space itself through a debris field. And I could not avoid the debris.
I don't know. I never claimed to be like some pro gamer, but I didn't struggle with that part of the game, and I still wonder
every time.
Yeah,
I die and we go back, and then I'll try. And I just remember there was like a little music, it's like dun 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 dun.
Didn't that one have microtransactions? I want to say there was like a pre-order bonus where you could just start out Dead Space 3 with like this giant rocket launcher, which completely annihilates any sense of fear or dread.
Lots of armor stuff you could buy. It ruined it.
Yeah,
I bought all the armor, immediately ruined the game. But yeah, I couldn't fly through the thing. Either I was doing something wrong or I'm just retarded. I kept hitting debris. And in that game, when you die, they let you see it. They let you see your body like come apart in gruesome, awful ways. There are a lot of them are pre-rendered, but there's multiple of them where you'll get like your tentacles will rush down your mouth until your belly explodes, like your head will pop in weird, disgusting ways. But I just kept hitting fucking shit in space and dying.
Sure,
and I wanted to
just
quit
watching porn
so
I've
bad.
seen that before.
I wanted to quit so bad, but we were recording. This was a YouTube video.
Yeah, it was a series. We were
doing a series, and I'm thinking like, God, there's got to be like 8-9 more hours of this shit to go.
I think we uploaded I uploaded like a 3-hour long finale. Like, all right, guys, I don't want to make you suffer with 96 more episodes of Dead Space. Here's a 3-hour episode.
It turned out to be a bad game, and I don't think either of us liked it, but we were committed and we had to finish it. It was
Woody got me on Borderlands to start many years ago, and that was when 1 and 2 were the only ones out. And so I was like, oh, damn, Woody knows his games. This is a blast. This is so fun. And I was all in on Borderlands. And then when they released that third one,
they lost you.
What a middle finger to their fan base, where they're like, hey, those things you liked about the other game? Well, we're putting in more of the frustrating humor and less of those pesky missions and guns. And it's like, no, I'll suffer through your ham-handed writing and character building. Just keep the random guns and the unique, fun 20 armed beasts coming. Like, that's what's fun.
Elden Ring right now. I can't believe how good this game is. I feel like sometimes I feel lucky that I have like my copy. Like for $60, I get to keep this. I can't believe they made it. It sold to me for only $60. Those fools. And I'm up against the biggest, hardest boss right now. Her name is Millennia, I think is something. I'm bad with pronouncing.
Millennia. I didn't know they made her into a boss.
They did.
Like pepperoni nipples.
No, well, dude, her armor is half a bra, and I think that's it.
What is she like a demon or something?
She's smoking hot. She's a gorgeous redhead with a prosthetic arm and a prosthetic leg.
Oh, true. I love amputee redhead.
No,
she's a swordstress. What do you call a female swordstress? I don't know, but
swordswoman.
Swordswoman. Okay, she's very difficult. Her sword is much longer than yours. She moves way faster than you do. She hits way harder than you do. She does things that don't like can't be done, the waterfowl dance or ducky dance, if you will. And I've tried her like 40 times so far. I haven't beaten her yet.
You'll get him.
Yeah, that's no. Show the second half of her where she takes all her clothes off. That's
so if you beat her ass like this, then it's like one of those where she pretends to die, and then it's like
you beat her clothes off. I like that.
Yeah, she does. She's on the ground like in this, like sexy position or whatever, and you think you won. Your character starts to walk away, and she goes, "Wait," and then she starts rising from the dead in this giant thing.
Oh,
that's what she looks like, and she's very hard to beat. So the best
after
player
this,
on
are you done?
Is this guy named Let Me Solo Her. And in this game, you can call a cooperator and help you beat the thing like a real life person for the boss fights. But I don't want to do that. I want to beat her. I don't want to like stand in the corner while Let Me Solo Her does it for me. But he took 240 tries the first time he beat her. And now he's like the best on the planet. He's
Are you counting your tries?
No, I just estimate because it takes about 5 minutes for me to try. Like it's about 5 minutes per loss. So I'm just like 60 minutes. All right. That's like 12 tries. What's
the reset like? Like let's say you die. How long before you can get back in there and get after it again?
In this boss, it's not bad at all. I bet it's like 15 seconds.
Oh, shit. That's crazy fast.
That's the shortest refractory period I've ever heard of.
There are other bosses where it's dreadful. There's a dog and you don't even get a big reward for it. But he has 9 smaller dogs who you really should beat because while you're focused on the big one, that pack will maul you. And they're not even hard, but you have to kill the 9 dogs. And while you do that, you attract the attention of 2 ogres. They're a little harder to beat, but they're not a problem. So now you need to kill the 9 dogs and the 2 ogres before you even try the big dog with the freaking sword in his mouth or whatever it is. And
I've seen that character. That's a cool character. The wolf with the sword in the mouth. Yeah,
there's like, more than one in the game. But anyway, so it takes like 15 minutes to try this dog. And the way his movements are, he gets to control the engagement. Like he jumps at you and then he can jump 70 feet away. Meanwhile, I'm like with the sword trying to chase him down. and it feels like you lose to bullshit because he like jumps up in the air, lands on you, you one hit die, and you're like, well, what was I to do about that?
And then you're like, oh fuck, well I killed 1 ogre and 7 dogs. What a waste that was.
Exactly. like now to do it again, it's this long, tedious process that you know you can do, but you have to endure before you try it again. So this is a fun boss, a re-engage.
Being able to get right back after it is so key to a difficult game like that. I think of the speedrunners who do those Mario worlds that are hand built to be nightmare scenarios. And sometimes the part they're failing at is like 4 or 5 minutes of hard shit in. They've got to hit some 2-frame move or whatever. And it's like, man, you got to climb all the way back up to the top of the mountain to fight the bad guy again every time. It's hard. Or even in like Tarkov, where let's say you're trying to kill the goons to get a task, or you're trying to kill a specific boss. Finding them is the problem. Like
oh yes,
the spawn rate for that boss on that map might be like 1 in 10. So that means you're gonna have to play 10 raids to see him once. Maybe. But who's to say you find him while you're there and someone else doesn't kill him first, or God forbid he kills you.
And to add to that, he could be in 3 different places. So now you have to drag your vulnerable butt all around the map, checking 3 different spots for where he might be, not even knowing if he's there.
It's rough. It's fucking. There's a achievement in Tarkov for killing the boss of Interchange Kill it 100 times. You get like his cool tracksuit on your character to wear all the time. It's got like a gold bracelet and some other. It's a cool thing to have. And when you see a dead guy with that gear on, you're like, oh, he did the thing.
Yeah.
But, oh
or a streamer. So the bracelet's key because it's in your point of view all the time. Like I can't tell what your pants look like, but I can tell what your wrist looks like so if you see a streamer with that bracelet, that guy's probably good.
Did any of you guys try Delta Force Hawk Ops? It had a super good extraction mode. It was like not as fully fleshed out as Tarkov, but I was thoroughly impressed with how good the extraction mode was. And I usually don't even like extraction shooters, to be honest with you.
It looks pretty good. It reminds me of Call of Duty graphics in some ways. I've been watching. Yeah, Battlefield a little bit. Well, there's another mode, right, that is almost like Battlefield copy.
Yeah, it's better than they shamelessly stole it from Battlefield, Chinese studio. They don't give a damn about stuff like that. It's Battlefield, but maybe done better. I had more fun playing Delta Force Hawk Ops than I did playing Battlefield. And to review the game for YouTube, which is still a thing that I do in this stupid condition, I was like, I'll just play the extraction mode. Extraction shooters are boring. They put me to sleep. I like dumb, shoot and scoot kind of games. I found myself deeply engrossed with their extraction mode, with a big map to explore. You have real enemies and AI enemies. You can't always tell the difference. There's like a stealth component. There's all this interesting stuff to loot and escape. I was really happy with Delta Force Hawk Ops.
It looks good.
I've never had fun with an extraction mode like that.
I've been watching videos of it, and also Arena Breakout, the other Chinese shameless copy of Tarkov. People have called it like Tarkov for dads because you can just you can use real money and kind of pay to. They say pay to win because that's how you attack something, but it's kind of pay to prosper. It might be a better way to put it. Like no grinding,
it's like a prosperity preacher.
Yeah, like get in there and but I want the good ammo. Well, give me $5. I think they're going to.
The price is reasonable, or are they cursed?
So all I know is that there's a secure container in extraction shooters that storage area where even if you die, you get to keep these belongings. That's kind of a mainstay, and you have to pay real money for that, and it's a monthly fee depending on what size container you want, and it's a couple dollars. I think it's $5 for like the medium. That's
entirely reasonable. That's like a subscription service for the game.
The thing, the reason I agree with you is like, all right, if you're going to play Arena Breakout for the next 5 years and pay every month for 5 years, that's not a good pricing model for you. You'd want the Tarkov pricing model where you give them $150 in one lump sum and they got you mostly. But if you're going to play this game for 2 months, it's $10 fucking dollars, and you're playing a AAA feeling title to me that's really well polished. It runs so much better than Tarkov. But I've gone back to play like single player Tarkov. That's what I'm doing right now, and I don't even see it. It's not an extraction shooter exactly because there's no people, there's no players. I just think of it as like I'm a Navy SEAL sneaky SOCOM guy, like going around with my night vision fighting it's really hard AI. Like it's really hard AI. I've got a high KD, but I die a lot. I die a lot.
Can you play with friends?
Yeah, Larry's gonna hop on with me tonight.
Oh, so you're still getting a social experience. You're just not playing against humans.
No, I've been playing 100% solo up until now. But Larry, he said he's been listening to the show. He's like, I want to play. You keep talking about on the show now. I want to play. So he's gonna hop on and play with me some night. But I just like not getting cheated. I hate getting cheated so much, and not only that, like I hate to I don't like campers. Like in Tarkov, it's different. Like if you don't know that game, like it's really scummy behavior. It genuinely is, and it's. They'll be there for 30, 40 minutes of their life, their real life. They're sitting there reading a book in the real world or watching TikTok, and then they hear me come and just ruin my experience when I've been trying to have fun. It's a real shitty thing to have in a game. They've actually changed that's one of the changes with this new patch they just wiped in Tarkov. The new boss Partisan, I think he's on all of the maps, and he specifically goes after players with bad player karma, and you get bad player karma by sitting still for too long.
That sounds fun. I love that.
So Clean's a streamer. I think it was him. He was playing Tarkov. He had to pee. He hides in a bush. He goes to the bathroom, and before he can come back, the boss has come and got him. That's my bush.
I think COD did something with that. Like if you stood still, Ghost stopped working. Maybe.
Yeah, Ghost would stop working. They had Krampus. The finals more recently, they have an alien, and they have a orbital bombardment, but it only drops missiles on you if you stop moving. So that's kind of fun.
I wonder how much
you guys don't play. You guys probably don't play like cracked out shooters. No Splitgate fans here.
I played. Wait, is Splitgate the one that's like Halo and Portal mixed?
Yeah, Splitgate 2 is an alpha right now. It's been fun as crap. I've kind of actually hurt my hands a little bit playing that more than I should have.
Yeah, we don't play much fast. Like go. Like Call of Duty. The idea of Call of Duty, which was all of our jams so long ago.
So I think all former COD creators.
That rinse and repeat sort of go and like get as many kills as you can. Like I'm over it. Like they don't the death.
I still like
didn't
fast
hurt,
go
didn't.
games.
I like. It's not that I don't like the speed. I just don't like the nature of a first-person shooter. Where
that's the only game I play regularly is a fast go game.
You play RTS.
Yeah, RTS. You're always doing something.
Yeah, Okay.
fun.
Yeah.
You're hurting camels.
Age of Empires 2.
Oh, that's a fantastic game.
Yes, it is.
Beautifully, amazingly.
There's 2 of them.
And can be very high APM on top of all that.
Very high APM. now while
they're
these
out.
two are being
They're out.
this is the thing. Kyle's more of an FPS level gamer when it comes to APM, and he gets a little intimidated by RTSs, and that's all right. Each their own. Some of us are true gamer men.